Now at 10, Brutus Fest 2024 celebrates 50 years since the colossal shovel's decommissioning. Plus, what better combination is there than cars and coffee? We'll talk to a few people who might agree. And
Fort Scott for the good old days, celebrating the town's history and the community. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Jasper County first responders were alerted this afternoon to a single vehicle crash rollover. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. A single pickup truck failed to navigate a curve and overturned into a ditch. Speed was determined to be a factor into the crash. The crash happened near Prigmore Avenue and East 20th Street. The Dunawig Fire Department stated it was a non-injury crash. Traffic was disrupted only for about an hour. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at our weather.
Well, today we got a lot warmer than what we saw yesterday, with our high only getting up to about 72. Well, currently we're in the 70s, low 70s about 9 p.m. tonight. 74 in Veneta and Nowata, 71 in Joplin, Pittsburgh, 72 in Fort Scott. So we're a lot warmer today. We saw temperatures getting up to 80 degrees, so a lot warmer than it was yesterday, and mostly sunny skies as well. Clouds cleared about noon today, and winds stayed relatively calm throughout the early day and going to stay calm throughout most of the evening. However, we do have some chances of rain showers and thunderstorms in the next coming days. Mostly a low threat. We're not expecting any severe weather, but maybe still some rain in the area. I'll have more details in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. The downtown streets of Fort Scott were filled this weekend with hundreds of community members ready to celebrate the town and its history. KOAM Samantha Walker spoke with attendees at the Good Old Days Festival about what is bringing them together as a community.
Everyone's friendly. It's a good community.
Community is precisely what the attendees of the Fort Scott Good Old Days Festival say the weekend-long event is all about. And not even cloudy skies could stop the hundreds of people from gathering and exploring downtown Fort Scott.
And it's just a tradition and great weather so that no one gets sunburned, like mostly.
The Good Old Days in Fort Scott has been a yearly tradition that has gone on for decades, where a parade and various activities fill the downtown streets.
I was in the first one for Jock Snitch. I think it's closed down now, but Jock Snitch Sports actually was a model, man. Believe it or not, for the shorts and some stuff. My cousin of mine too, 1981.
And even people who have attended nearly every year for the past 4 decades make an effort to come back to help support the tradition.
I think tradition is important. I think Fort Scott stands by tradition, and that's one thing I feel like as a community member we can say collectively, that our community is all about tradition and keeping things preserved for our future generations.
The Good Old Days has something for everyone, from a street fair and 5K to funnel cakes and a car show. The event is all about embracing Fort Scott and its rich history.
It's kind of an older town. I mean, it's just, I think the brick streets and a lot of things that people really like when they come to see Fort Scott.
That's pretty cool. I like history, so that was pretty cool. And they fired the cannon this morning, so that was pretty cool to see.
And for attendees at the Good Old Days that I spoke with, they say the best part of the event is getting to come together and celebrate as a community.
I think the shutdown during COVID taught us all a lot, that we like to be with people, and this is a good thing.
Just to see all the people that we know, and even if just acquaintance that we don't see very often, just checking in and saying, hey, what's up, and just basically just having a community. That's what this is about.
Reporting in Fort Scott, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
This year's Good Old Days was the 43rd year for the event. Crawford State Park hosted a fishing derby today. The event is a part of Kansas's free fishing weekend. Every kid who attended the event got a reward, which could include items such as fishing poles, a tackle box, or sports equipment.
Just kind of a good way to get kids outdoors, familiar with it. Really low stress environment. Everybody, we have 5 or 6 helpers here today to help, and we're not getting on anybody. We're just here to make sure the kids know how to use the equipment, and we get fish on the bank. So
A demonstration on how to handle and what types of fish are in the area was held before the event got started. Brutus Fest was held today in West Mineral in honor of the world's largest electric shovel. The event marks 50 years since Big Brutus was taken out of commission. Activities included face painting, photo opportunities with the KC Wolf, and more.
Well, I think we're all fortunate to have Brutus still here because it's the only one left. They've scrapped about everything, and to have this in southeast Kansas, it's a real asset, and look at the people that's come to see it.
A coal miners reunion was also held today with the people who have worked with Big Brutus. Epic Drives hosted Cars and Coffee today in Joplin. The car show had everything from newer supercars to the classics. The show also had food trucks for attendees to enjoy.
Cars are a passion. A lot of these cars are something you're not going to typically see every day. So to be able to come and see inside the car, experience the car, and meet people that are like-minded, it's just a really good time.
Just seeing all the different cars, the different sounds, and checking out what everyone's got done to theirs, it's kind of inspiring sometimes.
A total of around 100 cars were at the show today. Coming up, we'll have the latest consumer news in tonight's Eye on Consumer. Carfax reports there are more than 425,000 flooded cars back out on the road, and there are several reasons you want to avoid buying one of them. Michael Hoffman has more.
Know the history of the car before you buy it. You don't want to buy somebody else's problems.
When you buy a used car, you check the odometer, the brakes, and the way a car drives before purchase. It can show you the value of that vehicle. Experts say when you buy a used car, you should also be looking into the accident history. On top of that, if the vehicle has serious flood damage, it can affect more than just the value.
So it's a flood title car, it's probably going to have a salvage title with it, and that would already show up when we do the insurance. When we run that VIN number on that car, it'll actually show up that's a salvage vehicle. And a lot of companies will not insure that, and some companies will. For example, we've got 7 companies, and we have probably 4 companies that won't do a salvage title, or they'll just do liability only.
On top of the difficulty of finding a company that will actually insure the vehicle, you'll have issues filing claims. The experts say your best bet is to buy a used car from a reputable dealer. They'll fulfill the obligation to inform you of prior accidents and repairs. If you go through a private seller, they don't have to jump through the same hoops of reporting damage, but you can still do your homework there too.
I would go through Carfax, or if you have another reputable company, it'll show you, disclosure on, how many times it's been to the repair shop, if it's had flood damage, and also the biggest things with used cars and making sure the odometer is correct and matches the Carfax.
Experts with the BBB say you should also consult an expert if you can.
It's worth it to do a pre-purchase inspection. If you don't have a regular mechanic that you depend on and who has worked on your cars previously, pay that small fee or whatever it is to a mechanic, and definitely have a professional mechanic test drive the car with you, look the car over, inspect it thoroughly, because they're the experts. They're the ones that are going to be able to catch things that you wouldn't.
When car shopping, ask for a report. If you feel as though you've been scammed, you should reach out to the BBB and the Attorney General's office as soon as you can. A new study reveals that many recent job seekers admit to lying or cheating in order to land their current position. 7 out of 10 of people seeking a job within the past 2 years either lied or cheated during the hiring process. The survey of 1,250 recent job applicants found that 22% admit to cheating on an assessment and lying on their resume. Half of the surveyors say they've even given a false reference. 80% of job seekers surveyed for this study were initially successful in landing a job, but around 30% ended up facing serious professional consequences once they were caught. National debt continues to rise, reducing potential economic growth for American households in the future. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office found that rising debt in America will suppress the growth of Americans' household income over time. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget predicts that will slow down projected income growth by as much as 1/3 to just over $114,000 per person. As of Friday, the national debt clock shows American public debt slightly over $34.5 trillion and growing exponentially every second. Shoppers are feeling a little more confident, and some car owners are being told to stop driving their cars. Christine Lazar explains this in Eye on Consumer.
Nissan is issuing a do not drive warning to the owners of more than 80,000 vehicles made between 2002 and 2006 because of the airbags. The company says the recalled Takata airbag inflators could explode in a crash and propel dangerous metal fragments. The recall affects certain older models of the Nissan Sentra, Pathfinder, and Infiniti QX4. Owners can get the inflators repaired for free at a Nissan dealer. U.S. consumer confidence is up, surprising economists that predicted a drop. The Conference Board, a business research group, says the index rose in May after 3 straight months of declines. Despite the result, many Americans say they continue to worry about inflation and the possibility of a recession. Consumers can find some lower prices at Walgreens. The retailer says it's cutting prices on 1,300 items, from vitamins to hand cream. The move comes after other major retailers, including Target, announced price cuts. And those are some of the week's top consumer stories. I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A little later, how a high school student went from homeless to graduation.
Overall, it was a pretty nice day tonight. Let's go take a look at those temperatures we had today. About 78 for our high out in Joplin. Surrounding counties got up to the low 80s though, so we're right about average for this time of year. Average about 82 degrees today, low 61. So we're right on track for this time of year. Not nearly hitting any records. So back in 2018, we had a record of 94 degrees for today, so pretty warm back then, but we're right on track, which is a good thing. I'm not ready for those 90-degree temperatures yet. Now, rest of your evening is going to look pretty good. We've got more clouds coming back in the overnight hours and a slight chance of a shower passing through, but like 10% chance. So we may not even see anything in the morning, but temperatures are going to drop down to the low 60s on Joplin, about 64, surrounding counties mid to low 60s. On top of that, we do have some fog in the morning, fog concerns. Now, most of us going to stay pretty nice, but in some areas, Girard, Nevada getting less than 5 miles visibility. Parsons as well, Oswego about 4.5 miles visibility. So watch out when you're on the road if you're getting up early in the morning on Sunday, but it clears out pretty quickly. So it's going to be overall another nice day tomorrow as well. Now, like I said, we've got that small chance of a shower passing by in the overnight hours from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Less than 20%, so about 10-15% chance, and likely it won't even pass by, so we may still stay dry. And then again, in the afternoon, about 1 to 5 p.m., we've got about a 20% chance of a shower or a thunderstorm passing through as well. Now, what we see is it moving into the Wichita area and then starts to dissipate. So let's go ahead, take a look at that future track. This is what we're seeing. Sunday morning, we've got that shower passing through, but like I said, it looks to dissipate in Wichita as it passes through, may still be strong enough to make it out to Nevada, some of our northern counties, but it does dry out pretty quickly. And then overall Sunday going to be pretty sunny and really warm, getting up to the mid 80s as well. And then Monday morning, that's when we're seeing that main threat for any type of rain showers, thunderstorm chances passing through, more likely isolated thunderstorm embedded in some more widespread rain showers. So this is pretty early, 2:30 in the morning on Monday, passing through the area. And like I said, an isolated thunderstorm embedded in some more widespread showers. This is about 5 a.m. Then we've got another round coming in a little bit later in the morning, 8:30 a.m. Parsons getting hit, Yates Center getting hit, passing through the area, hitting Joplin a little bit earlier in the afternoon, about noon to 1 p.m. And then it does clear out. We've got another round of thunderstorms passing by in the evening, and then again Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, Thursday, Friday looking pretty good. Temperatures in the 80s, sun comes back out, but unfortunately we do have another chance of some thunderstorms coming back around next weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night, and Tuesday as well.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Coming up in sports, Oklahoma softball looks to move on in the Women's College World Series. Plus, the Nevada Griffins return to their home field this weekend. Brock Baldridge has the highlights up next.
The Nevada Griffins are just getting their season started. Nevada dropped the home opener on Wednesday night, and after some time off, well, they look to bounce back this weekend. The rain postponed yesterday's game, so we look to stay dry this evening as Nevada hosts the Warren County Crop Dusters. Top of the first, starting pitcher Skylar Morrison throws a beautiful breaking ball to get the strikeout to end the inning. Warren County leads 1-0 though, so we go to the top of the second. Caden Samler up at the plate. He slams this ball deep to right field, and it's going to carry over the fence, and it's gone for a solo home run. And the Crop Dusters take a 2-0 lead. Later in that same inning, Warren County really starts to pour it on. 6-0 game. Caden Samler again gets a hold of another one. It's hammered to left field. The outfielder can't quite make the play, and it falls near the fence. That turns into a 2-run triple. Crop Dusters score 8 runs in the second inning. So we go to the bottom of the second now. 2 on, 2 out for Nevada. Jackson Cornett gets the swing and a miss to escape the inning. And all Warren County tonight. Crop Dusters win big, 14-0. In the Mid-American League tonight, Joplin Outlaws look to win the 4-game series against the Sherman Shadowcats, and well, they do just that. Big win for Joplin tonight as they run rule Sherman 11-1 in 7 innings. Cale Good has been stellar to start the season. He has a homer in this game to go along with 4 RBIs. Well, the OU softball team continues to dominate the Women's College World Series. OU moves on to the winner's bracket after winning their opening World Series game on Thursday. Sooners looking for that 4-peat, but first they have to go through UCLA, and what a pitching performance by Kelly Maxwell. Sooners shut out the Bruins 1-0, and Oklahoma is heading to the semifinals once again. They'll play the winner between Florida and Alabama. Over to college baseball now in the Fayetteville Regional. K-State had to finish their game earlier this morning from a rain delay last night, so Cats face the Hogs at Baum Walker tonight. Bit of a surprise. K-State playing very well. Wildcats currently lead Arkansas 6-3 in the 8th inning. In the Norman Regional, Oklahoma is in the winner's bracket. Sooners took care of Oral Roberts last night, and well, they face UConn tonight. At last check, UConn leads Oklahoma 4-0 in a pitcher's duel in the 8th inning. Then in Stillwater, the Cowboys are winners again as they have that tough matchup against the Florida Gators, but a stellar pitching performance gets the Pokes past the Swamp Chompers. Oklahoma State wins this game 7-1. Royals at home taking on the San Diego Padres, top of the first. Fernando Tatis Jr. stretches one deep toward the fountain seats, and that clears the wall for a solo home run. Padres take an early 1-0 lead. Bottom of the first, Vinny Pasquantino says right back at you. This is very high, very deep, and very gone for a 2-run homer. Kansas City now takes a 2-1 lead. In the third inning now, game's tied up 2-2. The Pasquatch, he strikes again, hits a missile over Cronenworth's head for an RBI single, and that gives the Royals the lead up once again. It's now 3-2 Kansas City. In the bottom of the fourth now, bases loaded for Ha-Seong Kim, and there's a reason they're called Slam Diegos. He slams this one in the gap for a bases clearing double. That's 3 RBIs. Padres get the win. They beat Kansas City 7-3. In Philadelphia tonight, the St. Louis Cardinals tried to cool off the red-hot Philadelphia Phillies, but tough to stop one of the top teams in baseball the way that they're playing. Phillies get the best of the Redbirds, winning this game 6-1. And there's a lot of college baseball going on in Division I. I mean, in the NCAA tournament, it's nice to see some of the local regional schools around here, OU, OSU, K-State, and Arkansas. Lots of good battles tonight.
You know, and sometimes I find it, hard to watch baseball, but congratulations to all those teams. They've been doing stellar.
Absolutely. Hope the major league things can get turned around here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it for sports. We'll be right back. A Texas high school senior is writing the playbook for his future. He's college-bound on a full academic and athletic scholarship, but what makes his story unique is the adversity he overcame to get there. Nicole Nielsen has his story of homelessness to hope.
Growing up, Zaylin Washington will tell you the odds were never in his favor. Early life was filled with a series of upheavals between parents in and out of jail and a brief stint in foster care.
So at the time, I didn't know like it was broken. You know, I kind of just thought like, I really felt like I was the issue because I kept going from different places and stuff.
For years at school, no one knew what he was going through.
People would make fun of me because my clothes were like ripped or like too big.
It wasn't until 7th grade, and when he joined the football team, he began to find a family he'd never known.
I felt a lot of pressure leave on my shoulders and stuff. Like I finally found a home and someone who wants me.
When he got to Nimitz High School in Irving, his living situation worsened. So much so, he found himself homeless his sophomore year. It wasn't until his youth group pastor offered him somewhere to live that he saw things start to turn around.
It was the first time someone choosing me, like not having it forced on them.
In a more stable home, he's taken the last several years to focus solely on academics and sports, both of which earned him a full-ride scholarship to Feather River College in California.
I want to be more successful than anyone in my whole family. Like I want to be the first person to complete high school, go to college, and actually have like a, hopefully, you know, a 6-figure paying job. I have to prove them wrong, really, that's what it is.
When committing on signing day, he says it was the moment that everything made sense. He looks back on the lessons he's learned and the progress he's made, with pride knowing he's now in control of his future, one he knows will be bright.
Overall, Sunday is going to be pretty nice, mostly sunny, but we do have a slight chance of a isolated thunderstorm passing in those northern counties, possibly Nevada getting hit. But after that, going to be really nice for the rest of the day. Now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have thunderstorm chances intermittently throughout the days, and then we'll clear back up for the end of next week.
All right, final sports note.
Yeah, the Joplin Outlaws are now 5-3 on the season. A little bit of a slow start to the first few weeks, but hey, you know they're really playing well as of recently.
They have a home game tomorrow.
Home game tomorrow night.
So gonna have to make it out to a Joplin Outlaws game. All right, thanks Brock. That's our time for tonight. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.